Hello, my lovely flowers. It's me, Nia, with Exquisite Floral Design and Events. And today I am going to let you know the 7 things you need to know in order to start your floral business from home. So let's get started. So the number one thing that you got to realize is the pros and cons of opening up a flower business. There is an initial investment that you will need to invest or money that you need to put in. It can be really minimal, or it can be a lot. But the things that you're going to need to invest in is one, a floral refrigerator. I have seen tricks on how to make a floral refrigerator with using like I think it's called Coolbot or something in a shed, and then or you can just get like one of those display refrigerators. You can get one of those, or you can just invest in a really nice floral refrigerator. Now, when I first bought my floral refrigerator, I purchased it from Bush. Bush is like a really big company, but when I was trying to upgrade, because my floral refrigerator is like 15 years old, their prices are a lot. So I had went on Craigslist and I found somebody. I'm going to look into it. I may end up purchasing it from them, but it was almost a $10,000 difference. So, ooh, wow. So some of the pros for me in starting a business is I get to be from home. That's just awesome. And then I'm a creative person. I love creating things. So that was another pro. Now you can also use there are also different places that you can use. Like me, I use Floral Next. It was a custom design flower shop that's already ready for me, where everything is done. All I had to do was go through it and pick the flowers that I didn't want and different things like that. But you can use wire floral companies like FTD, Teleflor, Bloom Next, and it's just a monthly fee. But the only thing that I found with them is that they're kind of low with their pricing, and then what you need to use on flowers, I was like, I don't see how anybody can make any money with that. And then I think they take almost 50% of your fees, whereas for me, I'm using what is it called? I'm using DoorDash, which only takes 10%, and all I did was increase my prices like everybody else on DoorDash. And I'm gonna give you a final review on it later, but that's what you can do. The cons is that the industry, there are a lot of people in this industry. There are a lot. So you have to figure out how you can kind of stand out and do things differently. For me, what I did was make sure that my website, it was, the SEO on my website, or people when they Google, flowers, they'll find me really. And then also remember, you don't get to do stuff on Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. It's always extra busy during those times. So you have a really high peak time, and then you have some slow time. You do have a lot of wastage. That's one of the reasons why I don't really care for working as a retail florist, because of the fact that, you have a flower and you have an order, and they want like, say you have something like on my video I did a couple of weeks ago, and it was a very pretty jewel tone color arrangement. But if I didn't have anything else to I think the arrangement was $79, but everything was done, I think it came up to like $127. But I had to spend almost $60 on flowers. And if I don't have any other orders where those color flowers will go to, that's not a good profit of only, $60. Being a florist, it requires you guys to wake up early. I hope you're an early person. A lot of times going to like the flower district, the best time to go is like at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't get there till 9. I got babies to drop off. But if I go over to my local flower shop at 6 o'clock, that's usually when you need to shop for your flowers, early in the morning. So the second thing is developing the required skills. Like I said earlier, there are skills that you need to know in order to be a florist. Floral arrangement skills, the floral design skills, various design techniques, flower care knowledge, basic accounting and basic bookkeeping skills, project managing, and also selling online. Third thing you need to do is, now that you've gotten like all the pros and cons out the way, you understand about what you're about to do, you've got all the skills together on open up your business, now it's time to register your business. I'm not very sure. You'll probably have to see your local information. Do you want to do a DBA, which would just be like, you know, Nia Black doing business as Exquisite Floral Design, and then you know, you file that at your local, like your local register office, and then they publish it, and so then it's you own the business yourself. Whereas a lot of times the business that I did have, I had it in a corporation, or this business is an LLC. So that's all you're going to do, is you're going to register business, you're going to also get your resale license, and then you're also going to get your EIN number. It all depends on how you're going to register your business. And I suggest that you speak with your local tax advisor to find out what's the best way to set up your business. Number 4, now that you've figured all that out, you need to now get the essentials that you will need for your flower business. So some of the things that you will need is scissors, buckets, your floral refrigerator, delivery vehicles, staff, your wholesale source, and then you're also going to need to figure out how to price your flowers. So I know a standard industry with floral flowers, it's only about a 20 to 30% markup. Now, the second thing is choose your market. Unfortunately, you're going to be doing it for home, so you don't need to choose your market. It's going to be from your home, so that's going to be your your market area, the area around you. So hopefully you have an area that it would require a lot of flowers. Okay, so now that you've done that, you need to capitalize on the floral industry, floral market trends. So like right now, one of the big trends is, you know, buying local flowers from your local growers, not using floral foam, being more organic and not very structured with your designs, different things like that. So you need to be able to trademark, or you need to know what the trend is at the time and focus heavily on that trend. So now that you got everything, it's time for you to start marketing that business. You need to get you a domain name. I just use GoDaddy, but there's a whole bunch of other web hosting or domain people you can buy your name from. You want to start a floral blog. You want to advertise your store online and offline with paid ads. You want to start to use social media to like put things together and let people know what's going on. Offer discounts or subscriptions. Collaborate with other event planners and decorators, and to deliver good service, because word of mouth is awesome. So starting a floral design business from home is very easy. So all you really need to do is just find vendors and wholesalers, and then just set the storefront up in your home. And then you need to find a place to make sure that you keep your flowers cool. So a large cooler would be great. So those are the 7 things. So make sure you understand the pros and cons, develop your floral design skills, create a business plan, choose your location, build your website or online store. And like I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I use Flower Next. I will be giving a review on that. Register your flower business, capitalize on market trends, market your business, and start selling. Good luck, and let me know down below how your business is going. Bye, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button to let you know when I'm uploading something new. Bye.
Hehehe